Hello everybody, we're back and oh boy, I apologize for that cutout. Oh well, at least the fucking cleric beast was dead. Um so let's read the item we got from him, the sword badge. One of the badges crafted by the Healing Church. The silver sword is a symbol of a church hunter. Ludwig was the first of many Healing Church hunters to come, many of whom were clerics, as it was clerics transformed into the most hideous of beasts. I know there's no of in that sentence, I just added it, because, you know. So, yeah, you know, there's a quote from Miyazaki, I don't know how many of the viewers are aware of this, but he said that the way he made the game, so this is straight from the creator when I'm saying this, he said that he wants people to think about beasthood in this game like having a shackle on. The more you resist it, the higher the recoil. And by resisted, he's kind of talking about morality, where the reason why clerics turn into the beast is they're very holy, they're very pure, they're going to try and release it. So that's why clerics, as it says here, turn into the most hideous of beasts. So the question is, I'm sure people are asking, what about the cleric beast in the Chalice dungeons? Are you going to talk about that? Is it the same one? Well, as far as Chalice dungeon stuff goes, I'm going to save that for a later portion. I am not going to waste any time on the damn Chalice dungeons right now, because I want to just get the main story out first, and then do Chalice dungeons. Because I think what would be a really good idea is, my plan is do the main story within reason, and then before beating the main story, do the DLC. Then, if there's any Chalice dungeons left, do those. Because honestly, I think that the Chalice dungeons are given to the player a bit early, because some of the stuff in the Chalice dungeons is extreme spoilers for the games, not just bosses. And again, I'm not saying that those bosses in the dungeons are not different individuals, but they spoil what the damn bosses look like. But yeah. So, enough of that item description. So, the other thing we want to examine here is that sometimes these spawn points will be appearing after the boss is gone. I noticed that recently. So, again, this could just be a gameplay thing, but something to think about. As for the item descriptions in the loading screens, I'll only talk about those if they're relevant to something I already know about. So, now that stuff is opened up to us, so let's accept this dialogue, and I'm sure by the time it's over, stuff will end in, what the heck is this? Wow, so we can go to the old hunters earlier than Vicar Amelia? What the fuck? Did they change it? I thought you had to kill Vicar Amelia to get the DLC item. Because did we just get the Eye of a Blood Drug Hunter? No, we just got the old Hunter Bell. Okay. So no, we can't. Okay, I thought that was weird. So, I'm not going to go over here because I did want to try to get Gehrman's rare dialogue where he, is somewhat crying and talking about how he can't escape the dream, but obviously we're going to get his intro dialogue. So let's talk to the doll first and then Gehrman.
Hello, good hunter. I am a doll, here in this dream to look after you. Honorable hunter, pursue the echoes of blood and I will channel them into your strength. You will hunt beasts, and I will be here for you to embolden your sickly spirit. Very well. Let the echoes become your strength. Let me stand close. Now shut your eyes.
Interesting how she has to sit when doing this. So obviously, besides this process being similar to the touch the demon inside me from the Maiden in Black from Demon Souls, what I find really interesting about this is that a lot of people wonder what is the point of the doll. Heck, people unironically have made hypothesis about Gehrman using the doll for, should I say, shaky purposes, but we'll get into that later, if at all. But I personally think what's more interesting is the way the doll is portrayed. It has a very maternal personality. She says she is here to protect you, look after you, and look after your sickly spirit, whatever that means. So, as far as stats go, I honestly want to get through this game quick, so until I feel I need it, I'm literally just going to put every point I can in strength, which may not sound smart, but for the kind of player I am, I don't mind doing that kind of build. It's actually something I'm used to. However, with getting the Sword Hunter badge, I wonder... Oops. Sorry about that. What I really just want to get is the Kirk Hammer. I know I'm one of the weird people who likes the Kirk Hammer. Alright, so let's read 3 item descriptions that are important. First, the Blood Vial. Special blood used administration restores HP. Once a patient has had their blood menstruated, a unique but common treatment in Yharnam, successive infusions recall the first and are all the more invigorating for it. No surprise that most Yharnamites are heavy users of blood. So again, another reference that kind of makes it like substance, you know, it's a prescripted thing, and then they start liking it, and then they use it, and not just because treatments are needed, they say they're quote-unquote heavy users. So there you go. And then the Quicksilver Bullet. Special bullets used with the hunter's firearms. Ordinary bullets have no effect on beast, and so Quicksilver bullets fused with the wielder's own blood must be employed. So it says that normal bullets don't have effect. However, that doesn't mean that my theory about the bullets being solid blood is right or wrong. In fact, if we look at the bullet, we see the mercury, but if you look at the puddle that the mercury is making, look at that red dot on the bottom right. Looks like blood, yeah? So it could be mercury blood, as I was saying. Oops. And the final item I want to read is the Bold Hunter's Mark. Dangling upside down, rune etched in the mind of a hunter. The image upon this parchment allows one to envision the rune with clarity, allows a hunter to awaken again without losing blood echoes. A trick that seems nearly too good to be true. So here we get one of our first supernatural things in the game, that just seeing this image in your mind, these runes grant abilities. Now that's very complex stuff with the Great Ones, and I'm not going to go into it yet, but keep that in mind. Okay, this is just a hand lantern, I don't care. Antidotes. Small, you know, no, I'm not going to talk about the antidotes till I get to Old Yharnam, and viewers who have played this know why. Hunter Chief Emblem. Interesting. Okay, here's the Kirk Hammer. The Church takes a heavy-handed, merciless stance towards the Plague of Beasts, an irony not lost upon the wielders of the most symbolic weapon. So, the thing I want to go over here is, again, the brutality of the Church. They're not only cleansing these beasts to save people, they just show this almost, I wouldn't say hatred, and I wouldn't say pity, I'd say something in the middle, kind of like this, not racism, but like, they are lesser because they're beasts. So I guess a kind of racism, or should I say speciesism. You guys post in the comments what you think. So I've always wondered what the writing on the Kirk Hammer is. It's unreadable. I always had the personal hypothesis that maybe since it's a church weapon, perhaps what could be written on the Kirk Hammer is the prayer that Vicar Amelia says. Now, I don't know how many letters those symbols represent, or whether it would be the whole prayer, but considering the DLC we see another church person say the prayer, it could be a common practice. And if I'm not mistaken, did the person saying the prayer use the Kirk Hammer? Someone fill me in on that. So unfortunately, we cannot purchase this, I don't think. Let me see how many blood echoes we can get from our stones. So we have 2. And I should have used multiple. Okay, I'm gonna do something really stupid and sell, like, items that I shouldn't be selling. I wouldn't recommend this for early players. I just really want that Kirk hammer, and why? Oh, it's 3,000. I'm selling stuff I shouldn't be selling. You guys in the comments are probably like, why are you selling your stuff? You need it. I know, guys, I'm so bad, but I need that weapon. I'm addicted. I need my Kirk hammer, man. I need my Kirk hammer. You know, it's just how I roll. There we go. Look at that sweet Kirk hammer. I think that the Kirk hammer is my favorite weapon. I know that some people think it's a shit weapon, but, I don't know. I always wanted to tank in games, and I like how it both has a heavy hit and a fast. So before this video runs out, let's talk to Gehrman. And then we'll probably be done with time here.
Aha! You must be the new hunter. Welcome to the hunter's dream. This will be your home. For now, I am... Gehrman. Friend to you hunters. You're sure to be in a fine haze about now, but don't think too hard about all of this. Just go out and kill a few beasts. It's for your own good. You know, it's just what hunters do. You'll get used to it.
So, before I talk to him again, so Gehrman tells us, just hunt a few beasts, don't even think about it, it's for your own good. Now, what I think is interesting about Gehrman is, like the doll, he's trying to care for us, but unlike the doll, not exactly in a maternal way, more in a advisor role. But I think that, and actually that's exactly what the doll says. He used to be a hunter, but now he only works to advise them. So, I think that what's interesting about Gehrman, though, in this dialogue is that he almost seems like he's forgetting who he is, because he takes a while to remember his name. And this, again, will go along with the theme that other hunters say, especially Mick and Lash, where he talks about, oh no, when I awaken, I'll forget everything. Horrible acting aside, I apologize to those in the audience. But... you know, yeah, that's, I think, a big theme in Bloodborne, is that awakening makes you forget shit. Although that's, must be some sort of dream, because if you forget what happened... I mean, if we look at the sunrise ending, right? We wake up in our armor, and if that seemed to be canon, so what, they forget, but they wake up in their armor, and they're like, I remember that I wore this armor, and that I was a hunter, but I don't remember what happened. But I know I was wearing this armor. Like... it's kind of weird that they remember some things but not others. And he says forget everything. Well, if he's gonna forget everything, then why does Eileen say, tell the little doll I said hi? You know, it's weird. It's almost like certain people remember, some don't, or certain things are blocked out. Maybe they remember the dream but not the contract they were supposed to fulfill. Like, maybe we'll remember Gehrman but not who the wet nurse is and the Nightmare Reborn and all that stuff. Who knows? Let's see if he's got any more dialogue for us.
This was once a safe haven for hunters, a workshop where hunters used blood to enhance their weapons and flesh. We don't have as many tools as we once did, but you're welcome to use whatever you find. Even the doll, should it please you.
Oh boy, one of the most sensitive pieces of dialogue in the game. You can use the doll even if it pleases you. Yeah, people have made much joke about that, and honestly, I don't think talking about that part of the lore is important, at least for now. If you honestly want to hear a theory about the doll that talks about that, go see Fungo's channel, Fungo or something like that. He did 2 videos about it. I'll let him cover this topic, if you can call it that. I don't got any disdain for it, I just don't feel like talking about it. So yeah, he talks about how hunters used tools to enhance their weapons and flesh, but they don't have any tools as they used to. We find some of the tools in the Chalice dungeon